Welcome to another episode of Bored with Nelly. Today my guest is Kingflipper. He is a variety streamer, but he's mostly known for his FIFA streams, his rage videos. To me, he's just a genuine dude. I don't think he's hiding anything. I think he's 100% himself, and that's kind of why I respect him and fuck with him. If you like this podcast, if you're enjoying these podcasts, please drop a review on whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's Apple Music or Google Podcasts. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll get to reading some of the reviews next time. Today we talked a lot about FIFA. We talked a lot about streaming, growing your audience, about his channel, about streaming on YouTube over Twitch, about FIFA 21. So I hope you guys are excited about that, and let's jump into it. Start recording. I don't have a professional intro. As you can see, this is not a professional show.
No, it's fun.
But welcome to my podcast, Kingflipper. You're the second guy named King.
No.
How sad is that? How can you be a king if you can be the second one?
Oh, yeah, but I've got Flipper at the end, so, I'll take it. It's KingFlipper, so.
That's true. That's fair. What have you been up to lately? Have you been playing FIFA? Have you been streaming?
Have I been playing FIFA? No, FIFA's awful. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm actually lying, because I have been doing, like, sponsor pro club tournaments, because I'm pro clubs. We have a laugh, because it's different.
Right.
If the gameplay feels different, and it's not like people go full hardcore sweats mode.
Of course.
Because you know it's not playing Ultimate Team.
I haven't touched it in a while. But I think what's interesting about you is that you've basically turned YouTube into Twitch. You're like streaming almost entirely on YouTube, and your channel is using the video format just to like kind of almost archive streams, and once in a while you'll drop an SBC.
Yeah.
But how do you like streaming YouTube, and why is it better than Twitch for you?
I've got a lot of people that have asked me to go to Twitch, and I thought it's just because my main base of audience is on YouTube. It's not, as you said, I do a lot of live streaming. As I archive my live streams so people can watch them back anyhow. But when FIFA comes out, SBC videos, they're my main video. And once FIFA comes out, you're normally getting one every day. So I do that. Then obviously marquee matchup predictions. I mean, like a big league with quite some big people who are in FIFA. So I do them as well. So it's not just about the live streams; it's about the videos as well.
Sure. How do you feel you're progressing, I guess, on YouTube streaming? How do you feel YouTube streaming is going? Because I feel like they made some really good updates, but then it just like it doesn't have the same momentum feel as Twitch. It feels like Twitch is always like 1 or 2 steps ahead of YouTube.
I agree with that. It's a lot harder. A lot of people have said if you go Twitch, you're going to get a lot more followers quicker. You'll grow quicker. I says, yeah, but again, videos. I don't really, because people says, why don't you do both things? So it's going to be, you can stream on both platforms, but I've watched bigger YouTubers and Twitchers do it, and it's really, you can't read both chats, because that's one thing you can't seem to do. And I wouldn't really want to be one where I'm speaking to one chat but ignoring another.
Sure.
That wouldn't be like that. But also, I think one of the things I want YouTube to do with the live streamers is bring over, there's a lot of tournaments, like Fall Guys just had a tournament Friday and I was like, I messaged up, why don't they do that for YouTube as well? Because there's still a lot of people that live stream on YouTube as well. And also the gifting subs, that's a big thing on Twitch that I'd like to see.
Rating, hosting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do raids, but it's not.
Do they have? But it's not like the same as.
No,
Twitch,
it's no.
right?
It's no.
You
It's
can't
not like
share someone else's channel, stream, whatever.
No.
That's interesting. I think pivoting is really hard, even in anything that you're doing, because you started out probably with mostly FIFA content. And actually, you played a lot of other games, but your biggest thing is FIFA content. But it's extremely difficult, I'm sure, as you know, to go and get the same amount of viewers or same amount of interest for other games that you might play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can. I mean. When I could literally go and play Foot Champs now if I wanted to, which I'm not going to go near, but I'd get more viewers playing that straight away than I would playing anything else. You roughly know what your viewer count is going to be with each game you play. The thing is, like, people say to me, why don't you just play FIFA? And I say to them, it's like, this FIFA's been awful. I mean, it's just gotten worse, and I don't want to touch it. I played one weekend of Foot Champs a couple of weeks ago. I was like, nah, not playing. It's awful. But I do YouTube because I like playing games. I don't like playing one specific game. I couldn't do it.
Right.
I play certain games because I enjoy playing them, not because I have to play them. But then because that would not turn into something you enjoy doing.
Sure. I think that's where I can relate to you the most because you said you have a job outside of this and you kind of doing it. I mean, there's no way you're making anywhere close to the money you're making as a real, your jobs. I'm in the same boat.
Mm.
And people always say, well, you're just making it for the money. And I'm like, bro, if I invested, let's say 100 out of those 1,000 hours of YouTube, like let's say I just took 100 hours and put it to like overtime at work, for example, I would already make more like tenfold than I've made cumulatively on YouTube. So like I feel like you're a type of guy that just like does whatever he enjoys and he kind of puts numbers secondary, I guess, or would I be wrong?
No, I agree with you. I mean, you've got to look at your core followers. It's your core followers that like your sponsors, members, whatever you want to call them, depends on what you class them. But I call them sponsors still because originally they were called sponsors, then they changed them to members on YouTube. I don't know why they did that. They obviously support your channel. They always donate to you, and much respect to them all. They know who they are, and it's always nice to have them core game, like them core people, because you get a lot of arseholes. You get a
Of
lot of
course.
arseholes that come on. I mean, I've seen you post stuff about people being full on, and
Right.
when they come into the stream before, normally the mods ban them anyhow. But I saw when they come in and start being, it's like, yeah, cheers for the follow, mate. Cheers for the view. Feel free to leave a dislike and jog on. And I just don't. It's not. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. It's just like a secondary thought at this point. Like I try to give it as little
Mm.
attention as I can. As I've had dudes that come in like, and this was when YouTube still doesn't have IP blocking, right? I don't think.
No, it doesn't, and I really want it to.
I hate, yeah, that's one of the biggest features because like I remember a dude made like 47 Gmails in a row and just kept getting blocked, and I was like, if you just put this dedication into like anything else in life, potentially you could do something. But what
Oh,
is the troll? What's the troll mindset? What do you think why do they do it?
I think they expect a reaction. This is why I just don't give it to them anymore. I think I've been doing YouTube now 5 years, and I remember when I first started, I hadn't got a clue. I was shit scared, to be honest, when I first started
Of
streaming.
course, nervous.
But yeah, exactly. But once you get used to it, and as I said, you get the normal people that come in, you get to chat with them, and then you just get the people that come in. It's like, yeah, sound. I don't care. Don't care. I'm not going to give you anything. Of course, I'm going to rage at my gaming. I love my gaming, but I'm still going to rage at gaming. I mean, if people find it funny, that's fine. But if people go in and say, it's the ones when they come in and say, get a job, you
Yeah.
like, blah blah. It's like, you don't even know. I've got a job anyhow.
Right. I get that one a lot too. It's like, bro, like I have a real job, or I
Mm.
did. I'm going to school now. But yeah, it's so funny that people like they just assume it's their own insecurities kind of directed towards you. But that brings me up to an interesting point. You said you started out YouTube. You were a bit nervous. Why did you start YouTube? Why did you start streaming?
It
What
was
was the
originally
reason?
KSI.
Really?
I mean, I watched KSI before he had 1 million subscribers, and I loved his old content. His old content was quality. Like you remember, like Heskey time and all that lot, and it just his old it's old FIFA stuff. Yeah, FIFA wasn't as bad then, but it was still had its own problems. And you watch the FIFA funnies and all that lot, and it's like, I want to do that. I'd love to do it, and like just share out and just let people watch the stuff that you enjoy doing, like other people do.
Right. What's your actual job outside?
I work in motor vehicles. It's crap.
Right. Yeah, I'm with
You
you.
know what it's like.
I'm with
It's boring. I hate it. And but as you said, it pays the
pays
wages.
well. Right.
Mm,
It's like a total contrast to YouTube where it's like it's a soulless like industry with like little
yeah,
innovation. Like it's not that exciting, but it pays well. While
yeah,
YouTube is like a place where I can do whatever the hell I want, but
yeah.
like I'm not gonna make any money.
No,
So they like kind of a balance that kind of worked out and kept me kind of sane, I guess,
yeah,
in some
yeah.
respects. Right.
I agree with that 100%. If anyone does ever want to become if anyone looks at YouTube and think I can do that, I can become famous, I can get rich, and no,
Right.
absolutely not. It's not like that anymore. It's very difficult to find your own original content.
100%.
If you do become like, if you get your own original content, you will grow quickly, but it's rare, and you're just not going to become rich and famous like literally like that. It just doesn't work like that anymore.
Right. And some of your original content, if I may point out, was Mortal Kombat dance video stuff.
Ah,
Let's
that
talk
was
about that.
that was well before I even thought about doing YouTube. That was like when I originally set up a YouTube account, because originally got the same, because technically I started YouTube in 2016, but anything before that I just uploaded for a laugh. So it's still there, and it's
When are we gonna see that back? So when are you gonna bring that back?
Never.
But I mean, that's some of the funniest stream moments. You've seen those little compilations. You're like dancing and doing random stuff. To me, like that's the funniest stuff. I've watched like 30 different compilations, and I don't know. Do you ever watch your own compilations that people made?
I've watched a few of my rage compilations from who people make of the FIFA videos, and there's always one that always comes back to me, and it's where I got really annoyed and called someone a dirty French fuck.
That's my favorite.
That's the one that always
so
comes back to me, and everyone says you're racist. No, mate, he's French and he's a cunt. It's simple as this is a dirty French fuck.
So good. What about the beef with Stallion you had? That was also pretty awesome.
Well,
How do you recall that? I'd like to hear your side of the story. I'll eventually get Stallion on and he'll tell me his, and then we'll find a middle ground.
It was just he played. Got pissed off. He played FIFA like FIFA does, and I sent him one of their messages. I don't send many of them anymore because, especially when they pop up on Twitter.
Right.
And that's how it happened. And that's gone. It's long gone now.
So his side of the story, I don't know if he told you. I don't know if you remember even, but he was playing in his little Tuscany vacation home on like 0.5 like upload or download speed, and he's like, dude, I was like playing like, I don't know, Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. Like there were like little cuts of the game. It wasn't even like a fluid game.
That's probably why it was laggy. I can't remember the game. I just remember it being very outrageous, and I'm sure he scored in like the 90-something minute like normal. And that was the thing that really annoyed me. But, them, gotta love them FIFA messages. As I said, I've had to calm down on them.
Do you think, honestly though, do you think FIFA is really like mentally unhealthy and damaging? Because a lot of more studies are coming out about gambling and FIFA and PAX. But I feel like one thing that's not talked about as much is the actual like dirtiness of the game and how mentally fatiguing it is to play and all that other stuff.
I mean, I remember when Foot Champs first came out, it was 40 games. I could play it for free, 4 hours a time. I can't do it anymore. It just mentally messes with your head. And you see like these pros now that do it, and they just say, I can't do it. And you've seen people that have actually gone to hospital because of just playing FIFA. It is mentally damaging. And I always suggest to people, it's like, don't play it too much. If you get really, really frustrated, just don't play it. The thing is like I probably would not play FIFA nowhere near as much if it wasn't for me playing YouTube. If I was on YouTube, I probably wouldn't play it.
Almost every creator says that, and yet no one can understand this argument. No one can understand the other side of that spectrum, which is like, hey, we enjoy making content. You enjoy streaming. Like I don't just look at FIFA as like, oh my god, let's milk this cow dry, right? Let's keep running this thing in the ground. I look at it as like, okay, I like doing this. What can this like potentially open up for me? Well, like I can have people for a podcast. Like that's literally if I didn't have views or I didn't have like an audience, I wouldn't be able to get any cool people on my podcast, right? That's one example. I don't know, let's say I make a couple $100 a month side revenue. That's another reason. Like there's more to this tale than just, oh, well, if you hate it so much, why don't you just quit?
I can tell you exactly why. Because I like football and I like gaming, and that's the best game we've got, unfortunately.
Right. 100%.
I mean, I know you've been one of them fans with Pro Evo, but Pro Evo still has massive...
Old fan.
It's wanted Pro Evo to give EA competition, and it's just not happening.
Right.
And we don't... Is it going to happen? Probably not, but we've got a few... You can tell there's a few EA licenses that they're losing, like Roma's gone to Pro Evo. Is it Roma? Roma's gone to Pro Evo.
Yeah, Roma's gone to Pro Evo. Juventus last season.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, a lot of that may affect EA and thinking, hang on, we might have to do something here. Or like a new company comes in like 2K21. I know. We'll make a football game. You've got to imagine. I'm really gobsmacked. There's only 2 companies that make proper football games with how big football is and how big gaming is.
I think the only downside or problem there is that 2K also makes a pretty horrendous basketball game. Like they have loot boxes, they have packs, they have like it's almost like FIFA, but for basketball, maybe slightly better. And I can probably find 1,000 people that would disagree that say 2K is worse. But the upside would be like 2 giant companies going at it. Maybe competition's good, but I don't know if 2K is actually the answer to our problems. It's like I don't know. Whatever. The more people, great. Like more competition's good, but
yeah,
I wouldn't put all my eggs into that basket. I think Konami may be our best bet with 21 with the new engine, or sorry, 22. But have you played any PES? Have you actually tried PES lately?
I only normally play the demo when I'm at Insomnia, when I'm at the gaming festivals when they release 2020. So that was the last time I played it.
Oh so you go to a lot of these like vlog and you vlog these gaming things. How's that?
Well, obviously, because of what's happened this year, we've had none. So, kind of miss it, but obviously, the pandemic is much more important at the moment, which is hopefully we get that sorted out.
You've got a nice little audience base. Like, you used to do meetups, right? Play some footy.
Yeah.
How was that? Because I always thought that'd be like a weird thing. I'd just be with a bunch of like these 12-year-olds or whatever, and just.
They're not all 12. They're not all 12. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nah, I enjoy doing stuff like that. I'm awful at football. I have 2 left feet, but it's always good to meet up with a few people that watch us and just play football. Or like as I said, being at gaming conventions, doing what we all do, like what we all like doing.
Right. Like I guess how did you get into the football space in general? Did you start watching football because of your dad or some other reason?
It was my granddad. My granddad started taking me to games and we watched the games and stuff like that. I had a season ticket for like 4 years running when I was a kid. And I went to an England game as well, an England friendly when it was at Villa Park. So I love the stuff I do. I mean, I haven't gone to a Villa game for quite a while. It's just struggling for time. It's like this season I'm going to be doing the Villa watch-alongs every game, either if it's on Villa TV or if it's through Sky Sports, because people enjoy it. People just like enjoying the reactions and just talking about it. Again, I enjoy doing that.
That's good. I think that's one thing I really noticed about your videos. You're always trying something new, whether it's like different competitions or different games or different types of streams. And like I think when people ask like, oh, how can you do well on YouTube? I don't think it's like, oh, you need one big idea, because that doesn't work anymore. It's not like KSI days. You get 1 million views, you get 100,000 subs, and from there on you can just snowball. Yeah. I think it's just keeping like at it until you do find something that I don't know works. Like, what if people like your reaction videos? Maybe I don't know. Maybe you rage in like one of those. They're gonna lose a lot of games. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be. Thanks. It's gonna be rough. It's okay. I like West Ham from the Premier League. I'm in no better position. But maybe they like the rage videos. Maybe you can turn that into a series. I don't know. You just gotta keep digging.
That's it. I mean, again, it's just another one. It's like you find something you enjoy. I do a lot of compositions. I do like to give back to a lot of my community. I mean, you remember the YouTube League when you were in it. I mean, obviously, I've changed it now to the Cash Cup, which is obviously another way. I mean, I've still got the old trophy right here next to me. I've changed it.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Let's see what this looks like.
It's still there. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
It's still
takes
there.
Some effort.
Yeah, it's got Reapers on it now because obviously he won last year. But yeah, I enjoy doing it. I mean, as I said, I like giving stuff away. I mean, my Formula 1 subscriber series. I like playing Formula 1. Again, it's not a game that has a lot of views. I get 20 to 30 viewers watching, but I do it because one, I like Formula 1. Again, the Formula 1 game is decent, but it can be a little bit boring for people to watch, but it's fun. That's what I like doing. It's what the main thing about doing it is, and giving back to the community. As I said, again, I've got trophies down there that I'll be giving away for the Formula 1 subscriber series and for the FIFA Cash Cup. As I said, I like giving away to people who enjoy watching the content.
Right. It's really nice. What other games are you playing lately? What else are you enjoying streaming?
The main one's Fall Guys. We got to love a bit of that. That mad game is absolutely crazy.
Are you good?
Yeah. Yes and no. My final to win ratio is awful. I get to a load of finals, but I never win them.
Right, so you're like Stallion. You guys, Stallion would get along. He's also pretty crap.
I don't think he likes me anymore.
No, I don't think he cares that much. I think
That's
he laughed it off. I think it was a funny little moment.
Yeah, it was quite funny. I kind of shit myself a little bit, but you know. Warzone. Obviously I like Warzone. COD Warzone again. It's gotten a lot harder recently. It's harder to win some games. And then obviously FIFA. What else do I normally play? Formula One. Oh, and Grand Theft Auto. I still do Grand Theft Auto weekly. It's one of them games that, as if you've got people with you, it's just
It's always fun.
yeah. Them streams are very outrageous. They're definitely an 18+ stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was another thing I wanted to bring up. Your audience is very I don't know how to say this. All over the fucking place. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's
How do you
very
feel about that? Yeah.
it's very hard. It's very hard to look after them all. I look at it and like some
Some hot water we're getting into now. This is getting interesting.
There's they know who they are that are outrageous. I mean, I let them get away with to a certain extent, and if they go too far, it's like, look, that's enough. Otherwise, you're gonna get otherwise you're in trouble. I have banned a few people before that have gone too far, and I've given them a few months timing out, and then if they ask to come back, it's like, yes, do it again, permanent block, and they learn the lesson. I mean, that's the main thing, innit?
No one talks about like the difficult world of moderating and having weird people just dude, people say some weird stuff. I'm like, man, I just don't know if you're joking or not. Like I can't tell through text and like
Yeah, you
I don't know how
can't
to
tell.
react to this, right? And then they come back and it's just people are such like people are on a wide spectrum, you know. There's like nice people that don't ever do anything. There's people that are always like pushing that line. There's people that are like rude, but they're just funny. Like
yeah, it's hard to get used to. It's hard to, as I said, once you get to know people. I like the ones that come in are nice, they get along, and then they can get away with the stuff because obviously they've been in here a lot longer. You get to know them. I have a few like that, but I like the ones that come in and say out of nowhere, these are the best ones. Are you gay? I mean, I'll be as gay as you want me to be. They're the ones. It's like, yeah,
I always
whatever.
feed into that. I'm like, send me a pic. Maybe I'll find. I'll see.
Yeah, most of the time I might just ban them. It's like, yeah, sound. I haven't got a clue who you are.
In the FIFA community, let's say, I don't think there's anyone that has like quite the audience I would say as you. It's a very different kind of feeling when you go into one of your streams than when I go into like Stallion streams or when I go into Inception streams.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm just making an observation. I don't know either.
It's very. I do get a few people that don't talk very often, and they look at my streams and think, yeah, nah, we're not talking in that one. They'll watch. I know a few of them that watch my content, but they won't talk.
Right.
Because they haven't got a clue what to say.
Right.
Because it can go one way or the other. But as I said, I mean, you've got to remember how many people there are in the world. No one's going to be the same.
I mean, look at a comments in a video one time, and like for the FIFA job, like the video that did really well. Man, 5,000 comments. I don't know how many weirdos are in those comments, but it's at least like 50%. Like people are just leaving the stupidest comments, and I don't understand where they're coming from, what they see that I don't like. It's like trying to understand like a puzzle piece that is just like the pieces are all on the table. I'm trying to like put these personalities together and understand their perspective.
That made no sense. But that video was quality. I know it took you a long time to do that video.
Cheers.
That video was a good watch, and it just goes to show how corrupt the AI people are.
Right, when you really put it all together in one big, nice, digestible video, it kind of makes sense. But like, if you just come into a video of like Nelly News or whatever, and I'm just bashing EA and being negative, oh, this guy's so negative. I'm like, dude, I've assembled a case. Like, I can take this to court and be like, hey, I have enough evidence to put these guys away. I'm seeing something different than you. I would say.
Yeah, it's like the surprise mechanics. Oh, that was. I don't think, unfortunately, it's going to change. The one thing I would like to see is, you know, when like they bring out the Team of the Year packs and they show you the percentages of what you pull. I'm sorry, but how can you show me less than 1%? I mean, that could be 0.9% or 0.001%.
Right.
How do you show me?
Sleazy way of getting out of it, right? They're
exactly.
really sleazy.
That is really. I've thought that's like we'll bring in prac percentages. People want prac problems with that. No. You've sleazed the way you put less than 1%.
they'll do the minimum amount to still like get away with it, right?
Yeah.
That's where I think even then this, like, I don't know if you've been following the petition that's been going on.
Yeah.
It's coming to an end in about a week. It's at like 50,000 votes, but it doesn't really matter. Like I don't know how your government stuff works, but someone has responded. They're looking into the issue.
Yeah.
Do you see any potential in, loot boxes getting classified as gambling?
I think it's always been it's gambling. I 100% agree with it being gambling. I'm sorry, but I mean you look at us people who like FIFA YouTubers. I mean, I'd probably put one lot of 12,000 FIFA points on if I was not a FIFA YouTuber. That's it. But I put a lot more on because obviously people enjoy opening the packs. I enjoy doing it myself. Everyone enjoys doing it. It's literally, as I've just said, it's gambling. You enjoy doing it. You enjoy opening packs. It's literally you want to do it because you get a buzz out of it. Hello, that's literally just playing slots and casino. It's gambling.
Right. But that would have bigger implications. That's the other thing that people are talking about. Oh, if you do this for FIFA, you have to do it for GTA. You have to do it. Like, yeah, you should. GTA also has those casinos. That's also gambling. Like, there's no discussion to be had here. It's all gambling. It's just.
But that's an 18 game, so there you go.
That is an 18 game, right?
Exactly. So why is FIFA not an 18 game?
But I don't think it's an 18 game because of the gambling. It's an 18 game because of the violence and guns and all that, right? Or do they actually have?
I don't know how they've classed it as that, but I've always said if FIFA should be reclassified, it should be Ultimate Team should be an 18 game because that's where you're doing the pack. That's where you're gambling.
Such a big problem in the UK as well with like a lot of betting companies and gambling.
Yeah. You see, I mean, you watched it. I mean, I don't know what it's like how much news comes to America from the UK, but
Canada.
You get. Sorry, Canada. Sorry, apologies.
How dare you? No,
it's you get these news articles where you get these 12-year-old kids that have spent thousands of pounds on FIFA with using their parents' credit cards without them. I mean, it's like, I mean, one reason. I mean, yes, it's technically the parents' fault, but yes, it's technically EA's fault because I don't know. They need to do something because it's awful.
Right. There has to be like people don't have I guess they don't see empathy for the user, which is really weird. And they see like they're on the side of a $1 trillion organization. That's the weirdest part to me. It's like I understand maybe you disagree fundamentally like here and there, but like you don't have empathy to like a kid over a company that's like literally designed a system to manipulate them to spend money. Like I don't know how ever you could take that side of the story and be like, yeah, that's fair. That kid should have known better. Or like, I don't get how you come from that angle.
It's just really, it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, as you agree, how can you have empathy for the $1 trillion company? No, you can't. It's what's the saying? It takes two to tango. You can't blame one person without the other.
How do you feel about like content creators, like the bigger ones, Castro and some of these other guys that just basically stream pack openings 8 hours a day? Do you feel like they should have some sort of obligation? Do you feel like they should put disclaimers in their videos? Or
I think they should put. I actually agree. I think they should put disclaimers in it. I get a lot of people asking me. It's like when I'm opening packs, when I'm doing a pack stream, it's like, should I buy FIFA points? It's like, no. I mean, I say. Because they say, "Oh, I want this and this and this," and shall I open a pack? It's just, there's not a chance you're going to get it. It's not really worth it. That's what I said. I always say it's like, don't do it. Even though I do it myself, but I say you should not really do it.
It's tricky. It's tricky stuff because, like, in one sense, like I don't know how much is this guy at fault, or I don't know. Yeah, I agree that there should be something. But we got to start from the top, and then once it starts from the top, it'll trickle down, and you'll have regulations and everywhere, right?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So what do you think about the new FIFA 21? You have any hope? How much are you going to be playing? Are you playing less and less games every year?
Yeah, I looked at 17. I definitely dropped massively in 18. I played 18. My record shows more, but it was because I was just playing more squad battle games because I was just getting in the coins and packs because it's just easy money. But because obviously it's just play basic mode, score 5 goals, and you don't have to touch the controller. But yeah, I played it less again last season. Again, you look at the content again with the trailers. You've seen the trailers. We've all seen them. I mean, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of co-op, but it don't make any difference unless the gameplay is good. But I mean, I've seen some people play the beta, and yeah, some of the
it's not
looking good. It seems to be more and more again aiming towards skill moves. It's like that's not football.
Right.
That's FIFA Street. I mean, I'm not one player. I mean, if anyone watches me, I'm not a skiller. I've never have been, never will be. I'm a passer, a holder of the ball, and I very rarely sweat, but I'm still rage at that crap. But but I don't do skill moves at all. I do, but very rarely. I mean, this year it was all drag backs, fake. Drag backs. I mean, it was just awful. And as soon as, because like when FIFA first come out, because I know you asked me this, when FIFA 20 come out, it was decent until they put a new patch in and someone found how to break the AI. As soon as a skill move is found to break the AI, everyone uses it and it just makes the game shit.
Yeah, everyone says this, and I'm in a big disagreement with like a patch ruining the game. I think a few things happened. First of all, the game sucked beforehand. I think it maybe got worse over time. Like that's my opinion. The big thing that happened was, first of all, more people got on the game, so servers got overloaded. If you remember, there was an Inception video. He made like week 1 of the game's launch. He's like, this game is literally unplayable right now. Do not buy it. Like servers are horrendous. So that's one. And then people started finding exploits, the things that they kind of brushed off to the side, little small problems. They brushed them off because 19 was so garbage. They started reappearing and they're like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. It's just the same thing. I just took me a bit longer to see it maybe. But I think a similar thing's going to happen this year. I think we're going to start hyping it up. And
I agree with you on that one, by the way. It was slowly over time when there was a couple of extra patches and all that. It just seems like the old problems pick back up.
Mm-hmm.
But with the server issue, luckily enough, I don't have that problem because in the UK, it's not that bad. But like you see a lot of people who are in like the Middle East or from certain countries that have.
Right.
You see their servers and it's Jesus. I feel sorry for them.
It's like 1 bar. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Canada and I have shitty connection sometimes. I'm like 3 hours away from Toronto, where apparently they have a server.
It shouldn't even be that bad, though. That's mad.
I agree. I don't understand how. It's 2020. We're approaching new console generation, and we still don't have.
You don't see. Tell me another game that has servers that bad. Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Star Wars originally when it came out, maybe.
But they fixed that.
But then it fixed it. They fixed it, right? Yeah.
Why can't they do that FIFA?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
And
I don't have the answer.
Another thing that I popped up about FIFA 21 is that people giving it I think that was you that posted on Twitter about, this FIFA 9 rating, FIFA 8.5 rating. It's like,
oh, dude,
have you played it? Have you played? No, it's going to be another awful rating because the game's probably going to be awful again. Right.
I have a video coming I'm working on. I don't know if it's going to be done by the time I upload this, but so basically what I did was I looked at critic reviews. I looked at every single pretty much positive critic review, and man, some of the stuff I found, like some of the stuff that was written is...
I don't understand how you can give it a critic review. If they say, we played the beta's always different to the actual game.
I'm telling you, it's going to be I think it's going to be an interesting video. I discovered a lot that I was kind of surprised with. I also discovered that these critic reviews actually have a lot more value than I thought they did. Obsidian, do you remember they made Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah.
There was a big controversy with them. They had a Metacritic score of 84. Like it was supposed to be 85 was the agreed upon for them to get a bonus.
Oh, okay.
And they got 84, so they didn't get a bonus from Bethesda. Because some dude at IGN or wherever the fuck he was from decided, hey, this game is worth this. So we have actual influence, money influence for a company that was like struggling given to a guy that's reviewing a video game online, basically.
I was going to say, that sounds very dodgy.
Right? Isn't it?
Very, very dodgy. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to actually watching that video because I'd like to see what there was A few people lying about that. Hmm.
You're in for a treat. That's all I'll say. Okay, so let's say FIFA is bad again. Are you just gonna continue streaming other games? What's the any bigger plans for the future?
As I said, the main thing is obviously I will be doing the watch alongs for the whole of the Prem only for Villa, because obviously developer is the main man who does it tries to do as many games ever. I don't want to mug him off. He's doing really well, but I want to obviously do the Villa games, so that's why I'm going to stick with that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, people enjoy that. So that'll be 38 games, 30, 30 38. Is it 38? Something like that, 36.
Just say a number, I believe you. I don't know. So,
so I'm going to be doing that. Again, FIFA will still be the main thing because, again, I enjoy football and I enjoy gaming. So, I mean, Call of Duty Cold War looks decent, so I'll be getting that. But it's going to be really weird with the cross-gen crossover. Because
right, yeah. Are you going to pick up a new system?
I am going to pick up a new system, but obviously the YouTube Cash Cup, I'm torn between, do I do the Cash Cup on the PS4? If so, because I don't know because Call of Duty Cold War have already officially said that they're going to do. You can backwards compatible. You can play with people on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and One X. But with FIFA, you can't. FIFA, once you go to PS5, you can't go back to PS4. So it's a bit of a really awkward one. Yes, I'll be getting a PS5, but I don't know how much I'm going to be using it for the first year.
Right. I think some people also think PS5 might be the saving grace for FIFA, and
not for this one, not for 21, because
right.
they've already said they're not changing the servers.
The engine is the same as well.
I think for this one. 22, they've said that they're supposed to be changing. I mean, how many years have we given this? We've said this enough times. I mean,
we sure have.
I just can't see it changing. It's one of them, and it's just a rotation. You will get to team of the season, play it then, and then no one plays it because that's it. The game just becomes unplayable because no one wants to play it because the rest of the good content's finished. Again, it's to do with packs.
Right. So yeah, I need a series of things need to happen before I even get my hopes up. One is like packs need to disappear, and then I need to see quality gameplay. And those two things are. I mean, EA hasn't had good gameplay in 4 years, so it's like, what are the?
Unfortunately, I think you're going to play this one a bit more often. Vidic.
You think so?
Vidic.
Oh, Vidic. Yeah, I might. I still won't. So I'm still kind of I'm in a bad place because I'll explain. So I make FIFA news videos, right? That's fun, blah blah blah. But the number one complaint I always get is like, well, how can you talk about this thing if you don't play it? So I'm like, okay, let me play it. So I'll play it, and then they'll be like, well, why are you playing it if you hate it?
But you can tell that's what a lot of content creators.
I know. I'm like I don't care as much, but I also want to I want to set an example. So I personally don't need to play the game for my content. I'll play a little bit at the start. I think I said I was gonna get a review copy or like a borrow copy from someone.
Yeah.
So people don't get on my ass about like, why are you talking about this game but like paying them money? It's like, okay, I won't. Fair. So if you guys want to complain, you'll have nothing to complain about. I'm sure people still will. But for me, I don't need gameplay to make my content. I just need to play a little bit to get a feel of it, and then I can immediately know it's crap, and then I can talk about it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because you get to see you don't have to play the game to see how bad it is. You can just watch other people play it, and you see enough on Twitter. You don't even need to watch people stream it. You can watch Twitter and you see the problems with the game. I mean, you've got an actual official page that shows you all of the glitches and the problems with it, and it's just hilarious to look at how many. Actually, I don't know how many problems we've had this year.
When I made that video, we were at 100, and that was in March.
I was going to say, I think we're nearly at 2.
We're probably double that, if not more.
It's just awful. I mean, you've got an SBC. I mean, how can someone that's specifically working on SBCs get players wrong? Like, get their ratings wrong or get their stats wrong?
right.
Or their nationalities.
That's your only thing to do. That's your only job.
I still remember the one time that they got wrong was where they dropped one of the SBCs and they got the rating completely wrong. So people could do it really cheap, and then they removed it, and people...
or the left wing for a right wing. Remember
there
was...
Sancho.
Yeah.
I thought, how?
On the upside, of all this. Nelly News is gonna be like I always have content for that because FIFA's so garbage.
Exactly. I mean, your
So
Nelly news
that's
has been massive for you, and I watch them. I like. I enjoy watching them. Because I mean, I can't keep up with all of the content outside of me. I try and keep up with it, but like you know how awkward it is to do work and
of
YouTube
course.
at the same time. So
Sure.
I watch your content as well to find out what's more broken with the game.
Right. I've been trying to figure out why people even watch those videos. I still can't quite understand it, but if they like it, it's great. It's not that hard for me to make, and I enjoy doing it. So
It's because you condense. That's the thing. You condense all of the problems in a 10-15 minute video that people can get used to each week. More than that, I always find, like, I always get a lot of people, even though I do a lot of live streams and archive them, a lot of people do ask me, can you do like highlights? And it's really awkward to do because, again, I don't have time. I have to get people to edit my videos because, again, it's time struggling, time consuming. And that's probably why you have such a popular. And a lot of people probably agree with your videos as well, with how bad the game is anyhow.
appreciate it. I think the stream highlights thing is really tough. I think if you're streaming like you are almost every day, 3 hours a day, let's say, on average, right? That means someone has to edit it. So that's minimum 3 hours. They have to watch all this stuff, right?
Exactly.
And then they condense it into video. It's probably another hour or two. And like we're already talking about 4 hours, 5 hours of editing. How much are you paying someone to do that? Like that's not free.
Yeah, exactly. I
And
pay.
your time isn't free either.
No, that's it. I mean, that's one thing I'd like to be a little. If the more, hopefully, the fingers crossed, if I do ever become successful, I can actually pay someone. I know someone who's absolutely amazing at editing videos. And I feel sorry for them that I can't really pay him. He doesn't do many of them for me, but like if you watched, maybe if you watched my latest vlog, which is like 4 minutes long, it's the Hailing Island vlog. If you get a chance to watch that, it's only 4 minutes long, and he edited it, and he's absolutely terrored me at the end of the last minute or so because my mic had stopped work. I pulled out my mic by accident, so
Right.
he put in his own content. And I love it.
I'll give that a watch. I didn't see it.
It's hilarious. It's and I feel sorry that I can't, because obviously he's got his own work as well. He does college and he does university. He does work as well, and I want to pay him a proper wage, but unless you're a big YouTube, you can't do it, and it's bad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for me not be able to give him people a good chunk of money.
It's a lose-lose for everyone, realistically.
Exactly.
Right? I guess that brings up to another question. What's the bigger goal for YouTube? What's your you have an end goal, or do you don't even think about it, or?
I'd like to do it full time, because if I could do it full time, I could put more into it. Because at
How
the
much are you doing it now? Like how many hours would you say you give to it now?
Obviously at the moment I'm just live streaming, but obviously when FIFA comes back in, I mean, I've already figured out once FIFA comes back, FIFA 21, I've already figured out my plans. Friday will be Foot Champs and Call of Duty Warzone, because thank God it's Friday. Got a little bit of that. Saturday is Foot Champs, Foot Villa Watch Along if we're on Saturday, Grand Theft Auto and SBCs. SBCs every day if there's one drop, so I have to do that. Sunday is again Foot Champs, my Formula One subscriber series, then my squad battle stream, then again SBCs if there's somewhere in between. So that's my weekend.
That's crazy. That's all. I mean, that's the one thing I've always kind of respected about you. You're always putting in the time. Like you're always doing a lot of streams, and that's been since I've known about you. Like you're doing multiple streams, sometimes a day, and that's just because you like it. I mean, there's no other really reason. I mean,
that's it. I enjoy doing it. That's the main reason. And like one, as you said, one like your FIFA job, one of them may ever become successful. You gained so many subs off it. Fair play to you, by the way.
just keep buttering me up. This is great. I'm gonna some favorable edits for this one.
But this is it. One of the days. I mean, I literally Sunday I played Fall Guys. I was playing Fall Guys. I had a geezer with 950,000 subscribers just come into my stream and say hello.
Really?
Yeah, man. Had a little bit of a chat from America. He said, "Get the dub in." Won that game. He was in there for I think he was in for about 45 minutes because we won another game, and he dropped a fiver. That's like fair play, my man.
Right.
And it was like I've had a few people that come in like that, just out of the blue, 100,000 plus subscribers, and they just say hello. And I love it. I mean, I love chatting to random people that are just genuinely nice. That's another thing. I like meeting new people. Like with the gaming conventions, I've met DTG, which is Deji, who's made quite a famous song at the moment. And he had over 100,000 subs, but he does like all the music and everything like that. He's followed. He knows JJ, he knows KSI and all that lot.
Wow.
Miles, which is Melee B, which I think you know who he
Yeah,
is.
I've heard. Yeah.
And it's just not, and it's just a few people, and I enjoy meeting new people, and I enjoy keeping up with people like you, Nelly. Like I've known you for what, 4 years?
Yeah, probably.
Probably about
I
4
started.
years.
That's where I started YouTube about that time. We were in the similar time when we
Yeah.
started, I think.
And it
'Cause I
won't be long.
remember we were streaming together in 17 a lot. Like I remember.
It won't be long before you've got more subs than me.
Who cares?
You went far off. That lies.
Who cares? I'm not looking at that. Whatever. It's no biggie.
We'll see about that. But yeah,
No, that's interesting. I think the reason it's funny because people might overlook you on the YouTube scene, but I've seen you get like 300 people coming in to watch like squad battles on like a Sunday night.
yeah, I know.
And like these are numbers that these are numbers on Twitch you would get. You'd be like front page like on the
Yeah.
FIFA scene, right? So I think the reason that is, at least my opinion, maybe it's the rage thing, but I think the more real reason behind it is kind of like the genuine part, because I think you call it like it is. You don't really, I don't think
Yeah.
you're hiding anything. I don't think like you don't come off across like maybe some of the other guys, which I know like they talk one way but they act another way, right? So.
Yeah.
I think that's why your streams do really well. And that's something I will never be able to do, like to get 300 viewers to watch a squad battle.
Yeah.
Because I would not be entertaining in any way. No one would fucking watch. I mean, no one's watching that stream, I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now. So, you're just in an unfortunate place like we all are. Because if
Mm.
FIFA was good,
Oh yeah.
you can snowball and turn it into something, like you said, full time maybe, pay an editor, you can keep growing. But until FIFA's good, what are you going to do?
It's just the way it is. You're going to be a slow grow, unfortunately.
Right. They've got you by the balls a little bit because
Exactly.
they're holding football, like they have a monopoly over football.
Yeah, see, you could literally just say they're holding it ransom.
Right. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
cut short there. yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Some people that are like listening to this, like, what is going on? Why is this guy gulping fucking liters of water every 2 minutes?
Well, you got to keep hydrated, don't you?
Gotta stay hydrated.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, anything else you want to talk about? I guess like we're kind of wrapping up. We got 10 minutes. Kind of flew by for me at least.
Yeah, I love it. I do. I can chat pure waffle for hours. I think that's probably another reason why people love coming into my streams. Because like, people say to me, "You're random and you're weird." It's like, oh, that'll be me.
Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing. Just be yourself, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're weird, you got some weird viewers. That's fine too.
Yeah, you've got to take people again. You can't take anyone seriously on YouTube. That's one thing you definitely can't do. Otherwise, you will never be successful. And I've told this to people. Some people have taken it on advice, and some people haven't listened, unfortunately. And well, I'm just going to say they've not got anywhere.
Right. That makes sense. What about other YouTubers? Who are you watching? Do you watch any FIFA content? Do you watch anything else?
I do watch some FIFA content. I don't actually. It's FIFA content's probably one of the least I watch, to be honest. Out of all the stuff I watch, because well, I play enough of it anyhow. I watch someone called DGR. He does Super Mario Maker. I just love watching him play that.
One of my good friends that does like Twitch full time literally started out doing nothing but those Mario Maker things, and now he's full time.
Yeah, the mad
Mario streams.
I used to watch someone who did Pokemon pack openings. I haven't watched him for a while.
Is that one crazy guy that packed Charizard and then he started screaming?
10, yeah, because it's worth like 10 grand. It's just stupid money. It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's the geezer. I've watched him. Oh, what's his name? Oh,
I can't remember his name either. But yeah, how much are you like looking at this content and like seeing what you can take to your channel and what they're doing differently?
It's
how are they succeeding?
It depends on the content, innit? I mean, I watch a few of them who do the live streams and they try and interact as much with the chat as possible. I like doing that. And it's the editing. I mean, I do edit as much as I possibly can. And as I said, my mate who does edit me, when he sends stuff, I watch it a few more times than I normally should do, and I like to try and see what he does that I can just quickly throw into a video, which is only like a 30-second extra thing, just to make it a little bit more enjoyable to watch, if you get what I mean.
Sure, of course. I think if I look at your original first videos and your videos today, it's like night and day. You know, like, but that's with everyone, right? You learn, you get better at speaking, you get better at editing, you get better at being more presentable.
Yeah, so, I mean, you got to remember, as you said, when we all first started, we were all nervous to hell. We hadn't got a clue what we were doing, and you just learn to do stuff, and you advance more, and you get more into it. I mean, like, people ask me, like, with these tournaments and everything like that, it's really actually more difficult to get a tournament together than you actually think.
Of course. Well, yeah. What's the downside of the people might not know about YouTube, about streaming, about doing this? I guess.
Again, probably meeting people, meeting people I mean, new, like, they might become friends. You never know. I mean,
No. What's the downside? What are some
downside?
Yeah, what are some things that suck, I guess, about doing this that you don't enjoy as much, maybe, or
social life. You do.
Yeah.
It is a lot harder to be around and about. I mean, it is nice to meet people through this, but you got to imagine some people could be across the world like you. You're a complete. I'd love to meet you in person. I bet you would be perfect to go out for a drink and all that lot. But
for a pint.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the easiest thing, considering you live on the other side of the pond. But you know,
maybe one day.
Might be one day. Yeah, I'd like to come to Canada. Canada. Canada is supposed to be
Let
very
me know
nice.
when you find that place. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Other downsides, again, mental health. That does make a big difference. I mean, yes, it's enjoyable, but it's got its own downsides to its upsides. And your physical health, very big thing. I've done 24-hour live streams, and it's hard. It's horrible after you get it, but you can't just be sitting down doing this all the time. I found that out, and I've since I started streaming, I've lost about 3 stone, and you have to, otherwise you're gonna. Well,
but isn't it funny that the persona is completely different? Oh, get a real job, do this, like, bro. Like, there's some. I'm not by any means saying that there aren't harder jobs, and of course there's real, like, manual labor jobs, but like, this isn't just like a walk in the park. You don't just wake up and like, I'm fucking turning on the camera and collecting my check. Like,
a lot of people think that, though, don't they?
Yeah, it's such a weird.
A lot of people think that it's just so easy to become really. I mean, I'm looking here at my setup, and my setup is probably about, without my PC, is probably about £1,000.
Right.
I mean, I properly spent money onto it to make it better, not just for me, but for the community, like people who are watching.
Right. And you've invested time into learning how to use everything you have
Exactly.
there. And you've always updated your, like, banners for streams and everything. It's like, it's a constant. It's like you're always learning, and if you're not, you're kind of gonna fall behind.
Exactly.
You're not improving.
Another thing with what you're saying about YouTube growth, YouTube notifications are awful with live streams, and I don't like their recommendation page. It's not. Again, Twitch is a good few steps way above the way YouTube works for live streams.
They had, I thought they had a pretty good system in 2017, right? With YouTube, how they.
Yeah, then they went backwards. Don't know why.
They had a YouTube gaming, like, their own individual page, and you could sort by game, and then it would sort by viewers, and then you could start seeing yourself build momentum toward. Now it's like I struggle to find, like, YouTube streams.
It doesn't. They didn't. Is YouTube gaming still around, or did they close it down?
I don't know. I think they might have, like, rebranded or something.
Yeah, I think they didn't advertise it out as much as they should have. I think the problem was.
Right. I don't think they were fully committed into going into streaming, I think. And then that really showed, because they kind of lacked, like, they had some cool idea, like super chat, that's great, emotes, that's all cool. Like, but those are all, you copied those. Like, you need
you literally
thing that's your own, that's gonna, like, bring people to YouTube, like, or you get bigger creators, like, Dr. Disrespect recently joined, but that's not because he wanted to, it's because they kicked him out. Right. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, man. keep doing what you're doing on YouTube. I think it's gonna eventually grow. I think YouTube is just a little bit behind, but I think eventually it'll pay off.
I mean, it's and we both, hopefully, fingers crossed. We both got our fingers crossed. Hopefully, it does.
I'm just trying to secure like a $2,000 a month, and then I'll live in Cuba. I don't really care. Like, I don't...
Cuba, going all the way there, yeah.
Why not? I mean, I need like $700 to survive in Cuba, and I'll live comfortably on a beach.
That's mad.
Upload 1 video a week.
Hey, as long as it's Nelly News, that's fine.
Yeah, Nelly News keeps making those checks. All right, dude. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate your time. Let the people know where they can follow you, watch you.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. Go check us out either KingFlipper _ Twitter, which is the main one if you want to speak to us, or it's just KingFlipper YouTube. They're the main ones. I do have Insta, but I don't use it very often.
Beautiful. To plug the Instagram that you don't use.
Very,
professional. All right, dude. See you later. Peace.
Thank you, Nelly. I almost called you Nito. Cheers, Nelly. I'll speak to you soon, man.